All right, what's up, geeks? You are here for the first inaugural episode of Geek Gab. And I was going to get up here and wax poetic about some Xbox and PlayStation stuff, but I finally got together with the one and only Sonny, and he agreed to come on here and be our first special guest. Now, you might know him as Sonny from the Sonny channel on YouTube, or Sonny Plays with Toys on Instagram. Welcome, Sonny. What's popping in Texas?
Appreciate you for having me, first of all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, because usually to get big stars at your caliber, your level, like Brad Pitt and Denzel Washington, I'd have to be a lot bigger. So you being on here is just, it's blessing me. Thank you so much, sir.
That's so true. My agent told me it would be good to reach out. No, I do. I'm always thankful for anytime someone asks me to be on the show, because then that means that what I've been doing reached out and it touched them in a way, not like the wrong way, but it touched them in a way that they want to have me on. So I appreciate that, man. But not a whole lot going on in Texas, just trying to find the latest waves like everyone else, you know.
Well, and you know what's crazy? A lot of people may not know this. You're funny for a reason. I actually, before I knew you were doing toy photography, I knew you from YouTube, from your stand-up comedy. And I'm not sure, you don't talk about it a lot on your channel, but I think people should know because you're funny. And
thanks.
I'm a good judge of funny because my wife says I'm not funny, and I know she's wrong. So I know funny when I see it. And I'm going to give you what I think is a compliment right now. You remind me of one of my all-time favorite comedians, Mitch Hedberg. And I don't know if you're familiar with his comedy, but the first time I saw you, I was like, oh, this is Mitch come back to life. And I just love that type of delivery, man. I still watch some of your older videos on YouTube, like, all the time. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about toys. We can do a whole nother stream on that one. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to pull up all your where to find you for the people that may not know you. All right, so they can find you on YouTube under the Sonny channel. As you can see here, he's got 923 subscribers as of this recording. So if you're watching this right now and you have not subscribed to his channel yet, it is an obligation that you stop right now and go subscribe so we can get this man over 1,000, because he's got to get those 2 pennies per video that YouTube likes to start us out with. We need those pennies. So make sure you go subscribe, turn on notifications. His stuff is really funny. Then we got Instagram here, Sonny Plays with Toys. And now talk about this a little bit. This is kind of taking over Instagram and the toy community. The push to get the hood voted for Toy of the Year. Talk to us about that.
Yes. So when the hood was first announced, I was like, first of all, I wasn't familiar with the character at all. Second, I was like, that looks like a generic figure. I don't want him. Then I saw him at the store, so I picked him up. And
isn't that how it always goes? Like, I'm not buying that crap, and then you're in the store like, I'll get 2 of them.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I got an idea for one picture of him. And that was the very first one where he's like singing karaoke. And it got good attention, got a lot of likes and shares and stuff like that. And I posed it as a question. I said, what is he singing? And so got a lot of engagement from people. People started putting all types of songs that he might be singing. And so I can't remember if it was on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter where it was, but someone hit me up and was like, I can't wait to see what you do next with him. And I was like, all right. I was done. It was a one-shot done, but I kept going with it and going with it and going with it to the point that I was making all these joke photos with it, and then I gave actual props to Dan Yoon, Ryan Ting, Dwight Starr, and all the Hasbro people on Twitter. I said, hey, on a serious note, appreciate all the people that pushed this figure into production. And then Dan Yoon went and challenged me and said, Sonny, if you get this toy, win Toy of the Year from the Toy Association, he was like, we'll give you a reveal and we'll give you an exclusive interview. And I was like, what? So I was like, well, now I gotta go.
You gotta push it.
So I was like, screw it. Yeah, I was like, screw it. We're gonna push this to the top. Some people are actually tagging Toy of the Year when they post their own pictures of him. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll go back and tag mine too, and I'll tag you in it. So let's make this happen. You get that interview, and then if you do get the interview, the only thing I ask is you wear a T-shirt with my face on it.
There you go. I normally wear t-shirts with my face on it, but I'll do that.
Charity work.
Like, oh yes, this is me. This is me in the future. This is Sonny 2099.
when I'm 52 years old. All right. So we've also got the Sonny Channel Facebook page, so make sure you go ahead and like that and send him lots of messages. He loves when you inbox him. Then if you go over to Stream Elements here, you can support the channel with some monetary moolah. And then here on Linktree, you got links to all the pages I just showed you. All right.
I totally forgot I had a Linktree up. I should probably update that.
I do my research.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Oh yeah, it sure is mine.
All right, so since it's the first episode of Geek Gab, there is no format, and I'll just share with you because we didn't get a chance to talk before we did this. Geek Gab is going to be a mixture of me talking to other people that are into toys and video games and geek culture in general. Sometimes it's just going to be me sitting here talking to a camera because I have a lot to say and nobody listens to me because my wife doesn't want to hear the crap. All right, so for those that don't know, what toy lines do you collect? Are you strictly Marvel Legends or are you into other things too?
So when I first started, I was like Marvel Legends only.
Me too.
And then I think I don't know what came out. Oh, nothing came out. I bought a lot of figures. Someone threw in a McFarlane Wonder Woman, and I was like, okay. And then that kind of put me into McFarlane toys. So I grab a couple of those every now and then. Storm Collectibles is another one that it hurts to collect those.
I'm scared of Storm Collectibles. I want some of those Mortal Kombat ones so bad, and every time I go to pull the trigger, I'm like, don't do it. You have kids.
They're nice. I'm doing what I can to try to get Storm Collectors to be like, hey, we need a Hispanic dude on our team. Hey, how about you, Sonny? And they can just send me the toys and I don't have to pay for them anymore. So far, they don't know that I exist.
Well, after this, because you know I have 1 million minus like 999,000 followers, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So, hey, Storm Collectibles, if you're out there, get at me in my inbox. Like he said, I love inboxes. Just looking around what I have. Marvel Legends, Storm Collectibles. I think those are the big three that I have. I got my first SH Figure Arts about a week ago. Still not sold on that brand.
I'm not a fan of them either, man. I was in a local toy store here, Steel Collectibles, for those of you in the Atlanta area, and I remember the owner came up to me and was like, hey, check out this Hulk. And this is back when I first started collecting. And I took out the box, and I was like, the joints are too pronounced. Like the chest was like hanging over the abdomen, and the skin felt like there was baby powder on it. So I don't know. There's some that I see that I'm like, oh, I might want that, but the 2 or 3 I've seen, it was never for me. All right, so out of those three, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was like, because I had got a Harley Quinn that was pretty cheap, and so I was like, oh, I'll try it out. Yes, I'm still not sold on it. Oh, and also collect the G.I. Joe Classified series.
The what?
Because I like Stress, the G.I. Joe Classified series.
I haven't heard of those. I've never seen those. No. Are they real?
So they are rare. Like, you know, when you go mining for diamonds, they're sometimes encased in the diamonds. Okay. So they're very, very hard to find. I think only 8 people in this world have ever seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll Google it. But you know what? All joking aside, props to Target, because we're going totally off topic, but props to Target. Yeah. They actually kept Barbecue and Breaker in stock. With they've somehow solved the problem. Now, I'm not going to give them too much in the props area, because today everyone was like, oh yeah, Target. I'm like, they could have been doing this. They could have been solved this problem.
I'm not gonna give them. I get it. It was 1 per customer.
They actually
I got mine in.
They actually canceled it if you order more than 1.
Yeah. So what I had to do was I ordered. I can't think of the name. Not Barbecue, the other guy.
Breaker.
Thank you. I was like, that's not Roadblock. Although that new Roadblock does look nice. I ordered Breaker. And then I was like, oh, I need Barbecue. I was like, oh, but I need free shipping. So I was like, let me just put them on the same order and I'll cancel Breaker. And I did that, and they canceled the order that I had Barbecue and Breaker on. So then I had to order Barbecue, and like I accidentally ordered Scarlet. And crap on from the movie. But yeah, they did cancel pretty quick. The only thing is though, I pre-ordered from Target before, and they canceled before it shipped.
They do that with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
they do that. Walmart hasn't done it to
nah.
me lately, but Amazon's been getting bad with it too. Like, hey, it's delayed. If you don't approve it, we're going to cancel your stuff. Now, pro tip for Target: if you don't have the Target debit card, get it, because you get free shipping on everything, even if it's only $7, and it doesn't cost you anything. All they do is link it to your bank account, and there's no fees. It's not like a credit card. I use that thing all the time, and you get free shipping on everything. See?
Man, I need to do that.
I'm here to make your life better. Tell your agent to call me.
Yeah. There you go. I need some agent to call me. She didn't call me. She's like, Sonny, I think we had a guy like that.
All right. So, what do you love about collecting? Why do you collect? Are you like me? You just have a black hole in your heart that needs to be filled, or is there something else to it?
No, well, so like, because I grew up watching the cartoons and stuff, and watching the movies, of course, when I was a teenager and adult. Growing up poor, I could never really follow the whole comic series, like the comic book lines. And so, like, I still have every single comic book I had when I was a kid, which is like 13 comic books total, and none of them are sequential. So it's like, I would read one, and I'd be like, oh, wow, okay, Wolverine, his claws are bone. Oh, sweet. Now I went to the next one, and I'm like, I don't get it. Where did Iron Man come in? Because I had no idea how to read comic books when I was younger. And I'm like, man, this don't make no kind of sense.
The worst thing when I was little, because I started reading comic books when I was like 4 or 5, and I didn't understand when they came out. That was monthly. So I'd go back to the comic book store like every 2 or 3 days, like, hey, do you have the next one? And the guy would be like, no, we don't. And then it would, and I was too young to understand that when I did see it, how long it had been. So I was just like, oh, I got the next one. Maybe if I come in tomorrow, it'll be the next one. So it took me the longest time. I remember I was reading, I think it was a Green Lantern, and the last page was like, see you in 30 days. I was like,
well, it's like, because, so I didn't really have a comic book store near my house, but I did have, gas stations that sell the cards, the little trading cards.
Yeah.
And so I'd buy those with whatever lunch money I hustled up or whatever. So, just a little pro tip, since it's already been years old. I used to gamble with my lunch money when I was a kid. So, I don't know how many times I got caught in school with dice, but I used to gamble with my lunch money. And so I would buy those cards, and I'd read the stats in the back, like, oh, okay, oh. I was like, this Pharaoh character, she sounds like a little hot tamale. It's like dumb stuff, but I had no idea what was going on with the storylines. All I knew was, the characters and stuff. And so, like, I used to do photography, and then the pandemic happened, kind of stopped everything. But I had bought my kid a few of the legends and noticed how articulated they were. So I was like, well, let me shoot little photos of these. And I was trying to be a serious photographer, do serious stuff with it. I even tried to do like a little comic book series with it.
Right.
And it just went downhill one day when I put one joke up there, and then I did a review while I was buzzing, and now here I am. So.
Well, especially in the pandemic, people want to laugh.
Like,
nobody wanted to be serious anyway.
Yeah. And so it was like I collect to be able to make content. Now, the good thing is I know a lot of these characters from, like I said, from the trading cards. It's also for cartoons and stuff, but that's mostly what I collect for, just to try to make different content for people and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. Now, I used to collect...
But I do love the characters.
Yeah, I used to collect big time, and then I just ran out of space, so I went digital. And I get in forums, people dog me for that. Like, oh, you're not a real collector. I'm like, look, I have a real house with limited space. So, maybe I'm not a real collector anymore. But especially when the prices went up. I was spending like $140 a month a few years ago on comic books, because they're like $4 or $5 a pop. And I'm like, or I can just pay $99 for the year and read every single comic book that comes out from Marvel. So, no brainer for me. When I win the lottery, I'll go back and buy them. Huh?
It was like the pandemic happened, so I was like, well, let me go to try to read some of the stories. And like I took my kids to the library, and they had a bunch of the graphic novels and stuff. I was like, oh, well, let me go and check these out. Man, they sat right here next to me for like 7 weeks. Now I was supposed to have them for 2 weeks, but they stayed here for 7 weeks. So I was like, the late fees.
I was about to say, you're rich now. You don't want late fees. I don't care about that.
I was just like, the library better give me these books when I pay that late fee. Yeah. So I was like, I didn't have time, and my wife told me, she was like, don't get it, you don't have time for that. And I was like, I'll make time. But she was right, I didn't have time.
Yeah,
the most I used it for was like to put it on my lap and eat my lunch while I was working. Like,
well, I didn't tell you the worst part about the subscription. I was spending that money every month, and it was a place in Philly, and it was a discount, but they sent it in boxes. The reason I stopped buying them was because I still have like 25 unopened boxes of comic books in a closet. So I was like, you know what? My wife was like, you know you're wasting money, right? And after like 6 months of her telling me that, I was like, yeah, you're right. So I moved on.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So I used to collect. I didn't collect. I stopped collecting right before Legends came out in 2002, and I didn't start again until 2019. And
dang, okay.
Yeah, and
a lot of time missed.
Yeah, and I unfortunately made up for it. My kids aren't going to college. All right, so 2020, we're in June now, so halfway through. I think this question is valid. So, what's your favorite figure this year so far?
We're gonna go ahead and put them right there.
Did you like that softball toss I threw to you?
Yeah, I like that right there. The best thing about it is like a lot of the hands fit him, so you just grab the different hands, because he came with 2 trigger hands, but I barely keep those hands on him. I'll be honest, I don't even know what happened to his accessories. The hood is somewhere around here. Oh, it's on J. Jonah Jameson right now, but I don't know where his guns went. I don't know where his specs went. This is the figure, right? This is the only thing I've been messing with.
Am I the only one that thought his effects look like cosmic sex toys?
No. I think that was like the early thing was like, well, hopefully this isn't the production one. They're gonna change it up, and they did it. They kept them like that.
When I saw it, I was kind of like, I'm not gonna let my kids play with this. All right, so
why is the mouth open?
Right, exactly.
See, I didn't go there. I was like,
you actually just did. You just did. now I can't look at him the same again.
Yeah.
All right. So now,
either way, still my favorite.
So in your collection, what's your favorite figure of all time? Like, what's your favorite figure that you own?
Favorite figure that I own is probably going to be the retro Spider-Man. Just because I like Spider-Man. It's a good figure, but it's also kind of the figure that got me the most attention and got all the traction going with the followers and subscribers to my YouTube. So that's probably gonna be my favorite figure in my collection right there.
And that's a damn good figure,
because of what it did for me. Yeah.
You know what's amazing about YouTube, especially when you're first starting out, is not being able to figure out what brings people there. You want to know what got me my most subscribers? Hasbro press conference. A video I did nothing in. It was the press conference from February 2020, I think. I was at a kid's birthday party and I forgot about it. My alarm went off. I turned it on. I missed Star Wars and everything. I got right there in time for the Marvel one. I recorded it on my phone, literally with notifications popping up and everything, and I just immediately posted it. And from that video, in a week, I gained like 400 or 500 subscribers. And it was just like, okay. And then it slowed down after that, and then every once in a while, a Deadpool video for the Talking Deadpool head got me a bunch of subscribers. I'm like, okay, so you guys hate my content, but you know, it's okay, so I'll just keep putting other people's stuff up.
Well, it's funny because I posted the review of the Spider-Man on Instagram, but then I had also had this dead YouTube channel that I had never used for anything, and that's why it's the Sonny channel. It's not Sonny Plays with Toys. It was just a dead YouTube channel that I had.
Right.
And I posted, the reviews on there. I posted the Spider-Man one on there. Well, so I posted on Instagram, and then Dougnificent on Instagram shared it to his stories.
Okay.
Which was seen by Prime to the First, who then showed it to Unparalleled Universe, Wade, and then
he's cool.
Jay Hernandez. Yeah, they're all cool. But Jay Hernandez gave it the biggest push. Like, he went on his live stream and started talking about it, which I was kind of shocked because I was starting to watch all these people.
Right.
When all of a sudden to see him start pushing my video, I was like, whoa, like, okay, what's going on? And so He took my subscribers on YouTube from 5 to 275 literally overnight.
Wow.
And so then I was kind of like, oh, I guess I gotta start keep doing this. So
yeah. So why stop now?
That's why I kind of ramped up and kept going. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh man, like should just did a press conference from Hasbro.
Well, I got into it because I had started YouTube, and whole nother story. My son was sick, so I never really put anything up on there. And then years later, I don't know if you've seen on my channel, my basement. My wife was like, you have all this stuff. Why don't you do a YouTube channel? She's like, so you're not just buying it to buy it. And I was like, well, I buy it for me. She was like, yeah, but do a YouTube channel. So I was like, okay. And that was like the worst thing she could have done, because now she's like, you spend too much time doing YouTube. I'm like, well, I'm just doing what my wife told me to do.
Yeah.
So, make your mind up.
Exactly. I'm trying to obey my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I do. What? Buy more toys? All right, so do you have any grails? Do you have a figure that you wanted for a while and then you finally picked it up? Or if not, what is that figure that you want to go for? Like maybe one that's hard to get or expensive, but one you just want to add to your collection?
There's not really any that I hold that high. Like, because I have some other, like I have some figures that people consider their grails. But
see, when you're rich,
really,
when you're rich.
I just have my assistant take care of them, all the findings and
they
stuff.
come in and dust them on a ladder.
Yeah. No, so I guess the one I could say would be the Storm Collectible Shao Kahn and Goro. I'm not about to pay $300-$400 for them, so those are just gonna be out there waiting for me to pick up, basically. But I'm not gonna pick them up.
Is Goro that much now?
Goro's goes for about $400 to $450 now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he was on my list. You just took him off. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, those are so far away.
Because last time I looked, he was like 150. I was like, yeah, I could probably swing that, and I haven't looked again.
The first time I saw him, he was about that. Yeah.
Thanks for ruining my night. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Interview over, right?
yeah. Disconnect. All right. So, do you do any customizing?
I started to. All right. So, let's see. So, we do got the Sonny figure right there. Official Sonny figure. We also have a custom Cyber right here. I did this one on my own. I know a lot of people will try to say that I bought that somewhere. That was on my own. And then I have
you are
Stripe
highly skilled
right there.
Now who is that?
I don't know if you can see all the intricate detail. This is Stripe right here. You might need a 4K video to see all the detail in there.
That looks like it took months to put together.
It was, months just thinking about it, trying to convince myself that I could do it, and then I finally did it. Then I also have Timber. I know a lot of people are waiting on the official release from Hasbro, but they got the design from me. I'm not saying that they stole the design, but you
can say it. You can say it.
They stole it.
Take down big toys.
There we go, right there, Timber. Those are a few of the customs that I have right there, just handy on me.
Now, what you may not know, because I don't advertise it, I'm a bit of a customizer myself, and I've got skills.
Oh, is that right?
I'm going to show you what I'm most proud of.
That's some skill right there.
Yeah, because look what I did. I painted her hair purple.
Dang it.
What can I say? I am taking.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was with an elite customizer.
Well, pay attention, because man, look, they have nothing on me. Those guys that are taking off arms and legs and all that stuff, that's easy. Anyone can break a toy up, but the hand-eye coordination it took to get the purple paint on this head.
Yeah.
And what I'm most proud of, there's me.
Oh, there we go.
Me with a really serious tan. and bigger muscles.
I was going to use the Rage figure as my figure. People were like, that's not you at all. Like, you can't see because of the mask.
But what's so funny is, when I did this, somebody said to me, like, I've never seen you in a Punisher shirt, because I took my picture in a Silver Surfer shirt. Oh. So I had to go and buy the Punisher shirt, which I never wore until I was driving from a funeral last week and I spilled queso all over it. I was like, the first time I wear a shirt, I'm covered in cheese.
Wait, you went to a funeral wearing a Punisher shirt?
No, I was driving home from the funeral. I wore my Spider-Man shirt to the funeral.
I was like, I hope it wasn't a funeral for someone whose family was killed in a drive-by shooting. Like, very poor taste right there.
No. They were killed in a gang fight out. So.
Oh, okay.
What is a fight
John
out?
John Travolta involved? That's all I needed to know.
No, he was there to dance. He was dancing.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we talked about how you got into it. Now I'm going to ask something that might set a few people off. The toy community. We love it, but it can be frustrating sometimes. So thing is, our community, our people, our followers, our fellow collectors, what do you love most about them? And what do you love least about them?
So I love the appreciation that they show, and I love that they are willing to share your work so much. Like I've been parts of like the acting community here in Texas, stand-up comics, improv, all kinds of different communities that I've been part of. I've never seen the love and sharing that I have in the toy figure community. So that's the thing that I love about them. They're not afraid to share your work. They don't see you as competition. They just want to share what they like. And that's what I like about them. And now, what I hate about them.
let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. While you're talking about what you like, I will say that is true because I've experienced it with a few people, but coincidentally, I experienced it with you. When we first met online and we had barely chatted, you happened to see I was looking for some figures, and you were in Walmart, and you hit me up and was like, "Hey, aren't you looking for these?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And you're like, "All right, I'm gonna swing by there tomorrow, get them." And you mailed them to me, and we'd only spoken like once or twice at that point in comments, and you hooked me up.
Yeah.
And I was blown. I told my wife, I was like, "Yo, I met the nicest dude. He just went to a store and got me some figures." And I was amped because I hadn't reviewed them yet, and I couldn't find them. And guess what? They're still in the box next to me.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen you.
I'm so behind, man. All right.
It's crazy because like that. Because remember, I saw that you wanted them, and I was like, man, I see them all the time. So that's why when I looked, I was like, they're there. So that's why I hit you up, like, hey man, you want these stuff? That was the last time I've ever seen those figures.
Right.
I've never seen them again after that.
Because because you know how it goes with YouTube, it's you get two things in the mail. It's like, okay, this one's been reviewed X amount of times. This one's hardly been reviewed, and you got to do the hotter one. And then the longer you wait, it goes by. I have a whole nother story. All right, so what do you dislike? What do you hate?
Let me see. What do I dislike? Well, I dislike that there's so many people in the community that are willing to take advantage of people. So, of course, you have the people who are, they'll find a figure. Like I've even seen it to where someone, it was like you, like they were like, "Hey, I'm looking for this figure," and I saw someone in the comments say, "Hey, I have that figure for you," and it was like $50 plus $5 shipping, and I'm like, "That's a $20 figure." Like you're literally approaching them with a way higher price tag in their comments. Like you didn't even take that to the inbox. Like man, like
it was more like $45 shipping apparently.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought it was wild that they did that, but like, so I don't like that idea. Just that there's people who are out there to collect, to try to upsell because they have it. It's like it's kind of messed up, But of course, I know that's in everything that you can do, but any sort of collecting thing. But like, as soon as the figure's out, it's kind of messed up. Like I've been hooked up with some things when I can't find them here, and someone's like, "Hey, I found an extra. Do you want?" I'm like, "Yeah, how much?" They tell me plus shipping. All right, cool. But yeah, when they do that, I'm just like, I don't know if I can. It doesn't sit right. Like you can't say that you're a collector, but then you're gonna take advantage of the other collectors because you have what they want when it's gonna come out soon enough.
Right.
It's like I don't know. Yeah. It's just me. But like when what was it? The Cobra Troopers, like the G.I. Joe Cobra Troopers. I saw someone post, I'm looking for a Cobra Trooper, or I have a Cobra Trooper. What they wanted for it was a Baroness sealed, which she was going for like 160 at the time.
And that was early because her price went up after that.
Yeah, and so it was like, I'm like, you're asking for a figure that, first of all, was twice the retail value of what you have. That's now skyrocketed. You want that for I was like, nah, that's crazy right there. Like, nah. I was like, yeah. And then they had also said, or the Toy Biz Apocalypse. I'm like, ooh, you got a $20 figure that just came out. You want like these $200 figures? Nah, man. That doesn't make any sense right there.
The only reason I have Baroness is because of a hurricane. It was last year when that hurricane was hitting the East Coast, and I was sitting. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was sitting at my counter, and I was literally on Instagram being pissed because I couldn't find any of the Cobra Island stuff. And I saw somebody say, "Hey, I found a Baroness today," and something said, "Look," and I looked, and it said 3 targets in my area had it. Nobody was out hunting because it was a hurricane, it was raining, you could barely see. Went to my Target, they didn't have it, even though the computer said they had it. Went to the second Target, literally as I walked in, somebody else was in there picking it up off the shelf. I was like, dang it. Then I saw the third one, so I called and they actually held it for me.
Dang.
And I got it. But other than that, I have no Troopers, no Vipers, no Beachhead. The Target by my house, I went looking for Beachhead when the week after it came out because they were getting a second case, and I went in, they didn't have any, and I walked away, and I heard the guy talking to the other aisle. He walked up, he was like, "Hey, was that guy looking for the G.I. Joe with the blue eyes or whatever?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, I got all those. I sold them on eBay for like 120 a piece." And I walked back around and looked at him, and I was like, "You what?" He starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, my bad, man. I didn't know you could hear me." Never saw it.
Yeah. Well, like, I have Baroness because I went into Target for groceries or something. And at the time, I hadn't really paid attention to the G.I. Joe line. But I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Like,
so you got it by mistake.
It was on the shelf. Yeah, so there was 2 of them. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. And I just took one. It's like, but now I'm all like, if I had taken the other one, I could have had a Cobra Trooper. No.
Dude, hopefully they'll reissue those, man. I don't want to get into Hasbro Pulse. We can do a whole nother stream on that because it aggravates me.
They are. So they have been hitting other Target stores. So good luck, everyone.
All right, so now it's time for rapid fire. I'm going to give you 2 topics, and you tell me which one. And you don't have to explain why. You can just pick one. If I'm confused, then I'll ask you why. All right. Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified.
Marvel Legends.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
VHS or Betamax?
VHS.
Optimus or Rodimus?
Optimus.
Galvatron or Megatron?
Megatron.
All right, here's the tough one. Devastator or the Dinobots?
Dinobots.
Why?
Because I had one when I was a kid. It was half of one.
It's always something. I don't know what I did with it.
So it's like whatever. I had this back half, front half. That's why.
I can top that. And your story's funny. Mine's sad. Whenever I tell people this, I have like, "You want to hear a funny story?" And at the end, they look at me like, "That's not funny at all. That's actually sad." When I was in 1st grade, I told my mom I wanted a He-Man figure. And she went to the store, and I think he was like $13 or something. And she refused to buy him. We were poor growing up, in case you hadn't figured it out. And so all my friends are playing with He-Man. They got Castle Grayskull, this and that, da-da-da. So she buys me Black Star. And I don't know who that is, but he had like a CBS show. And anyway, so I'm in the bathroom at school, and lo and behold, on the floor, I'm going to give you one guess as to what I saw lying there by the garbage can.
A turd.
I'm gonna have to say big no on that one.
Oh yeah, all right. He-Man, was it He-Man?
No, it was He-Man's right arm.
Okay.
But I picked that right arm up, and I took it.
This is where it gets sad, right?
This is the part where it gets sad. And I took it home, and I cleaned it up, and I played with that right arm like it was actually He-Man for a good 2 months. Like, he was fighting everybody. That arm was just coming around. He was by the Castle of Grayskull. I made a little tinfoil sword, and like I had him. I slept with it and everything. Eventually, my mom felt so bad that she bought me the He-Man. But she bought me the wrong one. She bought me Faker He-Man. So I had a blue He-Man with an orange sword, and I had to pretend he was the real He-Man. But man, that arm, when I tell you that I took that arm to school, I slept with it. Oh, man. All right. So this has been great, man. I appreciate it. I haven't laughed this hard in so long. I needed it. But thank you for being my first guest on Geek Gab. Again, guys, I'm going to put all of his channels up in the description. Make sure you hit all the links. We got to get him over 1,000. Spread and share. He will be back. I've had so much fun. We're going to make sure to recycle him as long as his schedule and his agent will permit it, because I know this might have been a one-time thing, so I have to beg. All right, anything you want to say before you go?
No, again, I appreciate you for having me on, and I will come on as many times as I can, as long as I am as relevant as I am right now.
Okay, rest assured, if you're no longer relevant, you won't be coming back on.
You go.
This is a big-time show. I didn't make it all the way to episode 1 from dealing with peons. You know, I got a track record to keep up with.
There you go, yeah. So far, I'm the best guest you've had.
Yeah, by far. The most handsome, the smartest, and the funniest. I mean, all the S, the EST.
Was it the most hair to the best hair?
Oh, you don't want to get into a bald battle, dude. I can't grow anything up here.
Oh, man. Don't worry, I'll be there in 4 weeks.
All right, geeks, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that too while you're here. Till next time, Geek Gab out.